What if the greatest battle of your life is not happening outside but within you? What if your fear, doubt, attachment, anger, and confusion are your real Kurukshetra? Hello, everyone. My name is Shreya, and welcome back to the channel. The Bhagavad Gita is not just a scripture spoken thousands of years ago, it is a living dialogue between weakness and wisdom, between emotional chaos and spiritual clarity, between a human who is breaking down and a consciousness that refuses to let him fall. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna looks at his teachers, his relatives, his loved ones, and he collapses. His bow slips from his hands. His heart trembles. He questions his purpose, his duty, even the meaning of life itself. In that moment, Arjun is not a warrior. He is you. He is me. He is every human being who has ever felt lost. And Krishna? Krishna is the voice of higher awareness, the voice that speaks when we are ready to listen, the voice that reminds us who we truly are. In this journey, we will understand the essence of all 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, not as theory, but as guidance for daily life. Because the Gita is not about escaping the battlefield, it is about awakening within it. So, the chapter 1 is Arjun's dilemma. Arjun stands in the battlefield and sees his own family members on both sides. Overwhelmed by compassion and attachment, he refuses to fight. He feels that killing his own relatives would destroy family values and society itself. His confusion represents the emotional breakdown that happens when duty conflicts with attachment. This chapter teaches us that spiritual growth often begins with confusion and inner crisis. Chapter 2, the Yoga of Knowledge, Sankhya Yoga. Krishna begins by reminding Arjun that the soul is eternal. It is never born and never dies. The body is temporary, but the self is immortal. Krishna introduces the concept of Karma Yoga, performing one's duty without attachment to success or failure. This chapter lays the foundation of the entire Gita. Clarity comes when we understood who we truly are. Chapter 3, the Yoga of Action, Karma Yoga. Krishna explains that action is unavoidable. Even maintaining the body requires action. What binds us is not action itself, but selfish attachment to its results. When actions are performed selflessly, they purify the mind and free us from bondage. The message is clear: do your duty, but surrender the results. Chapter 4, the Yoga of Knowledge and Action. Krishna reveals that whenever righteousness declines, he incarnates to restore balance. He explains that knowledge burns ignorance just like fire burns wood. Actions performed with wisdom do not bind the soul. True understanding transforms ordinary action into spiritual practice. Chapter 5, the Yoga of Renunciation. Krishna clarifies that true renunciation is internal, not external. One does not need to abandon the world to become spiritual. Freedom comes when a person acts without ego and without attachment. Peace belongs to the one who has mastered desires. Chapter 6, the Yoga of Meditation. Krishna describes the disciplined life of a meditator. The restless mind is difficult to control, but through practice and detachment, it can be mastered. A balanced lifestyle in food, sleep, and work is essential for spiritual growth. The mind can be your greatest enemy or your greatest friend. Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute. Krishna explains his divine nature and how everything in the universe arises from him. Few truly understands his supreme reality. Those who surrender to him cross the illusion of Maya. The divine is both the creator and the essence of everything. Chapter 8, the imperishable reality. This chapter explains the eternal Brahman and the cycle of birth and death. Krishna emphasizes that the consciousness at the time of death determines the soul's next destination. What we remember at the final moment reflects how we lived. Chapter 9, The Royal Knowledge. Krishna reveals that the most confidential truth, that he is present in all beings, yet beyond all. Even a sinner who sincerely turns to him can attain liberation, devotion, simplicity, and surrender are powerful paths. Love for the divine transcends all limitation. Chapter 10, Divine Glories. Krishna describes his divine manifestations in the world. Among mountains, he is the Himalayas. Among rivers, the Ganga. Among warriors, he is strength. Every greatness we see is a spark of the divine. Seeing divinity everywhere changes our perception of life. Chapter 11, The Universal Form. Krishna grants Arjun divine vision and reveals his cosmic form, infinite faces, countless beings, all creation and destruction happening within him. Arjun realizes the vastness of divine power. Human ego dissolves when faced with cosmic truth. Chapter 12, The Yoga of Devotion. Krishna explains that pure devotion, humility, and compassion are dear to him. One who is free from hatred, ego, and possessiveness becomes truly spiritual. Love and surrender are simpler than intellectual debate. Chapter 13, The Field and the Knower. The body is the field, and the soul is the knower. True wisdom lies in understanding the difference. Ignorance binds us to matter, knowledge frees us. Self awareness is the beginning of liberation. Chapter 14, The Three Guns. All human behavior is influenced by three qualities: Sattva, Raj, or Tamas. Spiritual progress requires rising above these three. Freedom begins when we observe our tendencies. Chapter 15, The Supreme Person. Krishna compares the world to an inverted tree with roots above and branches below. The wise cut attachment to this tree and seek the supreme reality beyond it. Detachment leads to higher realization. Chapter 16, Divine and Demonic Qualities. Divine qualities include fearlessness, compassion, and self control. Demonic qualities include arrogance, anger, and greed. Our destiny is shaped by which qualities we cultivate. Character determines spiritual direction. Chapter 17, The Threefold Faith. Faith reflects one's inner nature. Food, worship, charity, and discipline are influenced by the Sat, Raj, or Tams. Spiritual growth requires purifying one's faith. Your faith shapes your reality. Chapter 18, Liberation through Surrender. Krishna summarizes all teaching: action, knowledge, devotion, and finally says, Surrender unto me. Arjun regains clarity and chooses to act according to divine guidance. The journey ends where it began, in clarity, not by escaping life, but by understanding it. If this message helped you, you don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful life changing content. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.